Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy with a horn on her head. Okay, I'm done. It's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2019 general readings. We are looking at the first half of June today from the 1st through the 15th. Thank you for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers and first-timers, and welcome back to any followers and subscribers. Thank you for tuning in today, taking the time, and for those of you who send in your support, feedback, and comments, always welcome and appreciated. And always a big note of gratitude to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so busy with personal readings. It's a joy to read for you. Thank you. And as many of you who follow me know, if you are interested in scheduling a personal reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description link below or going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button there. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually respond to your initial inquiry with more info within the same day or within the first 24 hours. And setting up the actual reading is pretty timely as well. I do readings full-time 6 days a week. It is all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule and mine to set up readings in as quick a fashion as I can. So send me an email if you're interested and we'll move on from there. Okay, let's get right into this reading. This is for the earth sign of Taurus, our beloved beautiful bulls, for the first half of June 2019. If you know your rising sign, moon sign, Venus sign, watch those as well. They can provide additional clarification. As many of you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody. All right, Taurus, let's see what the first half of June has in store for you. Okay. Okay, Taurus, we begin with the Hierophant, followed by the Moon. We have the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Two of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy is the Four of Pentacles. So Taurus, I feel like you have a lot of your element in this reading. There's 3 Pentacles cards. Out of 5 cards, 3 of them are Pentacles, which is earth energy. That's the element which governs the suit of Pentacles. And the energy of Pentacles is often about the stability and security of the actual structure of our life. So things like money, finance, property, real estate, job, assets, etc., or the efforts that we put into our day-to-day life, what makes us feel secure and stable in often the physical structure or the structure of our life. Money, finances, long-term jobs, retirement, long-term relationships or marriages, etc. So your overall energy for the first half of June is the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of holding on. Now, number 4 is, or can be, a number of stability. 4 legs, 4 posts, the most stable foundation upon which to build something. It can represent stability. It can also represent stagnation. The Four of Pentacles is a card of holding on tightly to something. I have heard this sometimes nicknamed the miser card, and in actual dollars and cents, it can represent being very careful, very frugal, or being very economical with your money or your resources, perhaps because you don't have a lot, or perhaps because you've lost in the past and you're very careful about holding on to what you have remaining. In an emotional sense, this can represent being very kind of closed off, guarded, not wanting to open up or share or let go or kind of encompass anything other than what you have as well. You have 3 Pentacles cards, so there's an abundance of elemental earth energy here. So likely for many of you, if not most of you, this is probably about the structure of your life. There appears to be, and perhaps the indecision about whether or not to hold on to something or to let it go in order to take on or consider something else. It also might be the fear of loss. Perhaps you've lost a lot in your past that may be keeping you in a state of indecision as to whether or not to take what appears to be an offer or an opportunity coming in. Because we do have the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles here. Although it's happening, it's the second set of cards. So the first week or so, we have the Hierophant and the Moon. Although in terms of timing, I'm always careful to say timing is not my forte. I can often see seasonal events, but timing is kind of fluid, and we are looking at the first half of June, but because there's so many of you watching, the time frame can be a little before, during, and a little bit after as well. We have the Hierophant and the Moon here around the first week or so. The Hierophant is a card of convention, tradition, stability, things that are grounded, family systems, perhaps cultural foundation that you come from, large corporations, institutions, religion, organized religion, marriage, taking something to a deeper or deep level of commitment, stability, responsibility, doing what many other people in front of you have done just because, and following in their footsteps because that's the way they do a particular thing. A group of people do a particular thing. Convention, stability, walking the traditional path, following those that have gone in front of you, or doing what seems to be the next best thing, like in relationships, meeting, dating, courting, meeting the parents, getting engaged, moving in together, getting married, having children, you know, that sort of thing. Or moving step by step up through a company, or something to that effect. But it's clarified, although it's almost a paradox, it's clarified by the Moon. The Moon is not necessarily all that clear, so the Moon doesn't always bring a lot of clarity. But the Moon can represent things being not all that clear. It can represent feeling uncertain or cloudy about things, about something, even though you feel something kind of maybe stirring in your intuition or your deeper spiritual self. It can represent those stirrings and feeling maybe a compulsion or a draw towards something. But the Moon can also represent unrealistic fears, which I feel may be the case here for some of you. Because when you look at the Moon versus the Sun, when the Sun comes out, it illuminates, clarifies, banishes the darkness, shows things in clarity. The Moon is different. The Moon does shed some light, but it can kind of cast shadows that aren't always realistic. Things look different under the light of the Moon than they do under the light of the Sun. Under the light of the Moon, there's a lot of shadowy corners and hidden recesses, and, you know, kind of subconscious fears start rising to the surface from the pit of your being. You know, in the daytime, that gnarly old tree, which normally sits out in the back corner of your yard during the day, when you go out there at night under the light of the Moon, it can, you know, look like a big old gnarly monster or grizzly bear or something. So the Moon can sometimes represent things that are there, but that you find frightening because you're not seeing them under the full light of day or clarity or illumination or practicality. And I feel like for some of you that's the case here, and that may be what has you kind of holding on. Holding on too tightly is usually representative of fear of loss of something, particularly if you've lost a lot in the past. So I feel like you're holding on to what makes you feel stable and secure for some of you. And there is an offer or opportunity coming in here, but you're not sure whether to take it or not because you may already have something stable, and you're afraid if you leave it for something, even if it sounds better, you're afraid of leaving the security or history of whatever you're coming from. For some of you, this may be a job offer or opportunity, or project offer or opportunity, or a home offer or opportunity. It might on its surface appear to have a lot of potential or be good, but you're used to whatever it is that you currently have now. Maybe you've lost out in the past, and so you're afraid of moving into something new, because we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, Knights are the bringers, the deliverers, the guardians of the tarot. They bring, they deliver. They can sometimes represent the speed at which situations move. All four of the Knights are known for being rather spontaneous and fast moving because they're Knights. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest of all three of his brother Knights because he's governed by the element of earth. He's more cautious, more stable, more attention to detail. He'll get to the end, but he'll get there slower because he covers every inch of ground. And it's right next to the Hierophant as well. So it's this extra sense of solidity and stability and security. But the Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the Two of Pentacles, which is a card of going back and forth, duality, crossroads, choices. So for some of you, there may be a job offer or opportunity, a home offer opportunity, or some kind of opportunity that represents something in the Pentacles earth energy area of your life. Security and stability. For some of you who have been out of work or have been looking for work because you don't have enough money, and maybe you've been job looking, job hunting, there is an offer coming in around the middle of the month or so. Others of you may be already considering an offer or an opportunity which is already on the table. But perhaps you're afraid of leaving the security and stability of what you have. The specifics and details will vary in general readings, but the energy fundamentally remains the same. For those of you who are waiting, it's coming in around the middle of the month or so. For those of you who need to make a decision, but your fears are based on stability and security, perhaps that you've lost a lot in the past and you don't want to do it again, there's this contemplation energy. So let me pull one guidance and advice card for you from Spirit, how best to navigate your way through this, particularly those of you who are trying to make a decision. Strength, excellent advice card. When strength comes up for advice, it represents facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, perhaps bad habits or bad decision patterns you've had in the past, shadow self, wrestling with your demons, which can represent, bad habits or aspects of yourself you wouldn't necessarily like to be revealed to other people, making the changes that you can and moving through and forward. That takes a great deal of strength, wisdom, insight, humility, and security. Apologize for that. But it's also what you gain more of by going through this process. In order to face fears and walk through them and face the darker aspects of ourselves or behavior patterns that we don't like, we have to be brave enough to actually take a deep and honest look at those. And so, and moving through those fears. And often when the Strength card comes up, it represents that whatever decision you make, Taurus, don't let fear be the deciding factor, meaning don't let your fear be the thing that makes the decision for you, regardless of what you decide. Yeah. So, Taurus, that pretty much wraps up your June 2019 your June 2019 reading for the first half of June. Anyway, I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the mid-month readings, where we'll take a look at the second half of the month. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful and useful. If you are interested in setting up a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I do love and romance readings, compatibility charting, career, work, and finance, investment readings, gift readings for friends, family, and loved ones. And I also do overview readings where I take a look at what's coming in your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look in all the main areas of life. So there's a few different things to choose from. And you can get that contact details by clicking on the description link below. I'll see you all in a couple of weeks, Taurus, for the mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.